Welcome everybody, my name is Marcolian, and we're going to take a deep dive into r/paranormal. Here's some creepy stories, some ghost stories, and some stuff we just don't know. So come with me for a stroll down the dark lane. I don't know what I saw. It's around 4:30 a.m. here, and all the dogs in my neighborhood are freaking out. I get up to let my dogs inside the house, figuring that'll at least calm things down a bit. I open the back porch door and look to my right where there's a fence line to another house. I looked over there because it looked like there were clothes hanging off the fence, and our neighbors have never done that, so I thought it was weird. Then I saw them. 2 men in black suits with no heads. I look at them for a good minute to make sure my eyes aren't playing tricks on me. They don't move. Just stand there. I could tell that one looked heavier than the other, but that's it. I backed into the house, locked the door, and turned off the light. I go back into my room. My husband is now awake because of all the dogs barking. I tell him I'm going to wait until it's light outside to get the dogs in because I just saw something I can't explain. I told him what I saw, and I said I feel like I sound crazy, but I saw this. I'm not joking. He seemed like he believed me, but I don't know. Previous dead owner of Grandpa's store wants us to leave. Now, my grandfather owned a clothes shop in a fairly small town. The building that the store is in served as his, my grandmother, and his grandchildren's residence for a good part of their lives. This building is not owned by him, but instead by a landlord who used to live there with her husband. The husband has been dead for over 30 years now, but he never quite left. My grandparents never did believe in ghost stuff, but my mom, my aunt, and uncle always said that they heard things like footsteps, bumps, and light switches flicking. Now, this particular event happened one night during town festivities. The store usually closes at 7 p.m., but me, my uncle, and aunt were there at around midnight so that we could eat what we bought in peace. Roughly after 15 minutes of being there, we started to hear the light switches flicking on and off upstairs. And my aunt says, "I think it's him." Just as she says this, the lights in that room start to flicker, and we all feel this huge, and I mean huge, weight on us, and all of our hair raises up. We got up to leave, and my uncle said, "We'll leave you in peace now," and this all stopped. We got out, went home, and told my grandparents. My grandma didn't believe. My grandpa said he too sometimes heard the light switches. Never went there again past 9 p.m. Okay, that was strange. I've already posted a few of my stories, but I have a new one for y'all. This happened to me today at work. I have to admit, it's not suspenseful or scary. It can probably be explained away, but at the time, it kind of freaked me out. So here it goes. I'm a mail carrier for a postal service. The route I am currently assigned to is a very rural route. Some of the homes are miles apart, a lot of farmland and cattle. This one in particular home I delivered to had been on vacation mail hold for about a month. When the date of the hold was up, I delivered their mail per protocol. Well, 2.5 weeks have gone by and no one has emptied the mailbox. Keep in mind, this is a very small town and I am one of only 3 employees at the post office here. I asked the clerk if they had maybe called about holding their mail longer, and I just didn't get the memo. She then related to me something that happened about this time last year. Apparently this time last year, the wife took a restraining and protection order out against her husband and disappeared for a few months. When the mail hold was over, it was another 2 months before the husband came into the office to get his mail. The wife soon returned to the home, but she is hardly ever seen. The clerk said that she thought the husband had killed the wife or something like that. Well, as of early February, when the mail went on another hold, both of them were alive and well. The clerk told me what kind of vehicle the man drives, and that he is always towing a camper. I decided to drive down the long gravel lane, from the main road and their mailbox to the house. I just wanted to see if anybody was home, and to ask them to please empty their box if they wanted to continue to get the mail. As I drove up, I just got the weirdest vibe from the house. There was no truck or camper, and no other cars. I pulled up to the large 2-story plantation-style home, something that isn't very common where I live, and shut my mail truck off. Today was a fairly warm spring day, and I heard birds and cattle and horses all day long. Here in the driveway, there was nothing but silence. It was so heavy. It took me a couple of seconds to gather myself to actually get out of the truck. I'm not usually a scaredy cat, but there is something seriously unsettling about that house. I walked to the door just in case somebody was home, and knocked. I had a feeling there was no one home, but I just wanted to cover all my bases before making a work-related decision. When no one answered, I rang the doorbell just for good measure and listened. It was deafeningly quiet. And when I heard a noise, it sounded like someone was tapping on the glass of the window and the door. I was looking right at it though. There was nothing there and no one in the house that I could see. I quickly walked back to my truck and got the hell out of there. As I was tearing back down the driveway, I looked in the rearview mirror and saw a woman in a second-story window above the front door. I about started crying. I'm not an emotional person, but I know what the hell happened today. I've been thinking about it almost all day, and I just can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. If you close the closet, they will get mad. I visited my boyfriend's house for the first time. It looked like an older double-wide trailer, 2-bedroom in Southern California. As we laid down for the evening, I noticed the closet wide open. I felt a chill and bad energy from the closet. The bed was close by, and I asked him to close the closet ASAP. At my request, my boyfriend froze and became tense. Serious as fuck, he looks at me and says, "If I close the closet, they'll get mad." "Who's gonna get mad?" I asked, feeling very confused and creeped out by his reaction. He looks down and looks lost as he answered, I don't know. Weird things happen when I close the closet. We have to leave it open." I try to get him to stop joking and admit he's lying, but he stays super serious. I even start to believe he is crazy for mentioning that he can't close the closet because someone invisible will get mad. I try to argue and insist, but he ends up just acting dismissive and insists on keeping the closet open. The scary part. So after an hour, we both settle down and my boyfriend falls asleep. The light is off and I stare into the void of the open closet and feel very on edge. Now that he said something would get mad if I closed the closet, I felt like something was watching me, but it felt real. I get up and close the closet nearly all the way, but I don't shut it. After that, I was able to somehow fall into a peaceful sleep. Suddenly, around 2 or 3 a.m., I startled from a peaceful sleep to hear whispering. It felt like I heard the whispers in my dream at first. I feel bombarded, as if a lot of energy and voices are reaching out to me. It sounds like 2 or 4 different male voices are speaking from within the closet in a strange, flowing language. They are talking loudly, as if they want us to wake up. The voices are raspy. I'm fully awake after realizing that I can hear something from the closet. The voices stop as soon as I wake up, but I can feel them watching me. I knew it wasn't a dream. My boyfriend is sound asleep next to me as I sit up and stare into the darkness of the room. The closet is all the way open, even though it was nearly closed before. I began to have a panic attack as I tried to lie silent and go back to sleep. But then I felt like there was something in the room with us. I got up and went to go play the Game Boy in the kitchen because I was too scared. 30 minutes later, my boyfriend gets up and finds me in the kitchen. I admit to him that they were mad that I closed the closet and that he wasn't crazy. He later told me that when he closed the closet, he would begin to hear scratches against the wood of the door. Thank you everybody for listening to these wonderful stories from r/paranormal. I hope to bring you some more each week, and maybe we'll dabble into some other ghost stories or just other Reddits. But for now, I'm going to leave you with this.